Welcome back, NASCAR Nation. The Atlanta race last Sunday was packed with action and excitement. We saw the reigning NASCAR Cup champion, Joey Logano, overtake Brad Keselowski on the last lap to secure his first victory of the season. We will be analyzing this race like we always do on the channel, so buckle up tightly, make sure to watch the full video, and let's head into it. Of course, before we do that, please consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to our channel for more NASCAR Nation news. As the race started, we saw Joey Logano in first place, followed by Austin Cindric and Ryan Blaney. The number 22 Ford Mustang began the race from the pole position and quickly established his dominance, leading the pack in the early stages. However, on the 10th lap, Bubba Wallace spun and crashed off turn 2, causing the first caution of the race to be called. Despite the setback, Logano maintained his composure and actually had a brave move of not going to the pits during this time, even though many of the other teams decided to pit under the caution flag. The restart of the race on lap 16 brought a renewed sense of energy and intensity to the track as the drivers battled for positions, trying to gain any advantage they could. As the stage progressed, the 32-year-old maintained his lead, keeping a steady pace ahead of the pack with 30 laps left. Close behind him was Cindric, Blaney, and Keselowski, each looking for an opportunity to overtake Logano and claim this top spot. And with 10 laps left from the end of the first stage, Joey remained in first place, while Cindric and Blaney maintained their positions just behind him. Meanwhile, Christopher Bell, who had started from the back of the pack, had managed to work his way up to 8th place, demonstrating impressive skill and determination on the track. Now, as the stage approached its conclusion, Logano was in front all 60 laps of the race. Despite facing strong competition from his teammate, he managed to maintain his lead and ultimately emerged victorious, earning his first stage win of the season. All cars in the lead decided to make a pit stop during the breaks before stage 2. Ultimately, it was Busch who emerged as the first driver off a pit road, setting himself up for a better stage. He was shortly followed by Keselowski, Blaney, Cindric, and Logano on lap 68. Logano dropped third on lap 70 as the race continued, and Ryan Blaney managed to overtake him for the lead position, with Kyle Busch following closely behind in second. It looked like a rough start of the stage for Logano, as just 5 laps later, as he actually provided Busch with a crucial assist. With a shove from the number 22, Busch retook the lead from Blaney. The drivers continued to clash for the first place, and the tension on the track was only intensifying. As laps ticked down, drivers continued to swap positions, with the lead position changing hands multiple times over the course of the stage. On lap 77, for example, Logano made a strategic move by switching to the bottom lane in front of Martin Truex Jr. This allowed him to gain momentum and surge into the lead, maintaining a small lead over Busch in second and Blaney in third place. As most cars pitted, Ryan Blaney's car was served a pass-through penalty for exceeding the speed limit on pit road. Once the cycle of pit stops was completed on lap 143, Logano ultimately emerged back in the lead, and in a strategic move, 3 of the 4 Hendrick cars opted to take fuel only during their pit stops, allowing them to maintain a strong position within the top 10 as the race approached its final stage. If you're still with us this far, let us know by dropping a comment down below. After the conclusion of stage 2, all of the lead lap cars decided to make a pit stop during the break to stage 3. When the race resumed, it was Aric Almirola who emerged as the first driver off a pit road, thanks to his team's decision to take fuel only during his stop. Many drivers had major setbacks during the start of this stage. For example, Chris Buescher found himself starting at the back of the pack after being penalized for speeding on pit road during a stop. Meanwhile, Tyler Reddick was dealt a setback when his team discovered they hadn't managed to get all the fuel they needed during his first pit stop, forcing him to return to the pits for an additional refueling before rejoining the race.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
On the restart on lap 169, the number 10 car was followed by Logano, Austin Cindric, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Alex Bowman. Stenhouse grabbed the lead on the restart for the first time in the race after he got a shove off turn 2, but that got cut short as Denny Hamlin overtook him using the bottom lane. Not long after that, on lap 189, Kevin Harvick gained the lead prior to a big incident that happened on lap 190. Ross Chastain bumped into the back of Harvick's number 4 Ford Mustang, causing it to spin out in front of the other cars on the track. This resulted in a multi-car incident involving Busch, Buescher, Harrison, Burton, Josh Berry, and William Byron. On lap 200, the restart was led by Eric Almirola, with Kyle Larson, Keselowski, Chastain, and Reddick following closely behind. Almirola maintained the lead as the cars approached turn 4 on lap 209. As suddenly, his tire went out, causing him to spin out and collect Larson in the process. This incident resulted in the 5th caution of the race. Daniel Suarez also sustained damage in the crash. Kyle Larson said that the 10 just blew a tire. He spun in front of me and I had nowhere to go. It's getting closer to the end, so it always ramps up, but I had nothing to do with that incident. Several cars opted to make a pit stop, but car number 6, driven by Keselowski, stayed on the track and maintained the lead when the race resumed on lap 217. Logano had his teammates trailing close behind, and he was able to pass Keselowski and retake the lead on lap 227. Thanks to a push from Reddick, Keselowski moved ahead of Logano to regain the lead on lap 231. The battle was still ongoing, and with 15 laps to go, the number 6 maintained a small lead over the Ford Mustang. With 5 laps left remaining, Keselowski and Logano were neck and neck, racing alongside each other for the lead position, and during the last lap of this whole race, Logano passed the leading car and won the Atlanta race. It was an impressive move done by this driver during the last moments of the race. He said, "First off, winning at Atlanta is so special to me. So many memories of me and my dad and racing right here on the quarter mile, and this is the full circle," Logano said, who earned his 32nd career win. "So many memories racing here in the Legends car and having a good time and dreaming of going straight on the quarter mile and on to the big track. That was always the dream to do. To finally win here means so much to me personally. This car was an animal. It was very fast. I was able to lead a ton of laps, raced really hard there at the end and got a good push from Bell to clear myself. Huge victory. Nice to get one early in the season. Always feels better. A great day for us," said Logano. By a margin of 0.193 seconds, Logano successfully held off Keselowski to secure his first win of the season. This was a particularly meaningful achievement for the guy who had spent many of his younger years racing Legends cars on the quarter mile oval track. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to NASCAR Nation News for more updates.
Sponsored by Credit One Bank, and make a mark on where the start-finish line way back through the tri-oval.